What's one trick of the trade or lesson that you learned from someone on your cast?
I learned that if you've given someone 3 pages of dialogue to do
The night
in one take, that it's not a great idea to walk up to them first thing in the morning and go, so I thought about changing some of it around.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
Especially if English isn't their first language.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, The Laundromat is a story about Mossack and Fonseca, which was the law firm that was implicated in the Panama Papers leak. And it is sort of an anthology story of crimes against humanity perpetrated by our current financial system. And it tracks one Ellen Martin, who is a victim of one of those crimes.
When I first heard about the Panama Papers, my attention was drawn to it because of the bold-faced names associated with this expose. I became aware of the deadlier aspects of the Panama Papers when I got more involved with the Committee to Protect Journalists a few years ago, because I felt the press is under siege. And it's because of the bravery of over 300 journalists, including this man, who brought the Panama Papers to the attention of the world and did the deep forensic digging on who was involved. And journalists have died because of it.
And speaking of that information, a lot of that is delivered through some amazing dialogue scenes with the two of you talking to the camera and getting us through all that. Tell me how challenging that was to be explaining all this, but also doing a lot while it's happening, and how the two of you worked out through that.
It was as challenging as it was fun at the same time, you know. I mean, trying to understand it. My character, for example, she's playing hers before, is a guy who, since he was a little kid, has a vocation for helping others. And at some point of his life, he discovered that it was actually easier and more profitable to help himself. And knowing Mr. Mossack, and who was going to tell him that he was going to be performed by Antonio Banderas in the movie. And so that's what he does, you know, talk to the audience and trying to explain, you know, what they put together and trying to save themselves actually in the public eye all around the world, which, and they are not very successful to the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's just a whole different experience speaking directly to the audience. I've done it in the theater, but it's a whole different thing talking to the camera. And occasionally, if the camera is close enough, then you see your reflection. So it's a little disconcerting. But we had a great deal of fun doing this.
Yeah.
It's a hard topic to, how do you encapsulate this world and the focus? And when Steven and Scott, and Steven Soderbergh, the director, and Scott sort of presented it to me that they wanted to do it in an anthology way, I thought it was brilliant, and that they wanted to do it in a way that had humor was great, because it can be very dry, it's very complex topic, and not only did they sort of make it understandable for everybody, but they made the ride very pleasurable, which is a great way to sort of sneak in a lot of important information.